So you saw Baelor Targaryen die on Sunday, and you're just as mad as me and everyone else who's loving a Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. But now you might be wondering, with Baelor's death, who becomes king? Where does the lineage go? Is it this guy? Is it that guy? Is it that brother? Is it that cousin? It's a big jumbled mess, but we're here specifically to talk about Maekar Targaryen. Hey, what's up everyone? Chris from Cinema Hooked, and if you're new to this channel, just know that I love Game of Thrones, all of Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, House of the Dragon. Absolutely love it, and I'm loving putting out the content on it. And I'm here today to talk specifically about Maekar Targaryen. So if you like Game of Thrones talk, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the little like button like the sign there says, and let's get into today's video. With Baelor Targaryen's death, a new prince is in line to become king. And it's too bad it's not Baelor, because he would have been a great king. But we'll never know what that reign would have been like, because that's just not the way it unfolded for him. And if you check out my video here, you'll see the full story of exactly the lineage of who becomes king, who dies, which brother it goes to, which ones of his kids. But today on this video, I'm specifically talking about once Maekar does become king. So let's get into those details. Maekar Targaryen was never supposed to be king. He was the fourth son, born in the shadow of a heroic older brother, and his future pretty much looked like a life of duty and resentment. But history can turn on a dime. This is the story of how one tragic accident completely reshaped a dynasty, and how the prince they called the Anvil hammered his own bitter path to the Iron Throne, a crown he never wanted, won by a death that would haunt him for the rest of his life. As the fourth son of King Daeron II, Maekar was made Prince of Summerhall, giving him a castle and a title, but not much else. The line of succession was totally secure, anchored by his oldest brother Baelor, a man history would remember as Breakspear. Baelor was the perfect heir, a tourney champion, a respected commander, and everybody loved him. Maekar, on the other hand, was stern, kind of broody, and quick to judge. He was a great warrior for sure, but he didn't have his brother's easy charm and really struggled to make friends. His big moment to prove himself came during the First Blackfire Rebellion. At the massive battle of the Redgrass Field, Maekar and Baelor pulled off a devastating pincer move that became known as the Hammer and Anvil. Baelor's forces were the hammer, smashing into the rebel army from behind, while Maekar's shield wall held the line, an unyielding anvil that shattered the enemy. The tactic won the war, but all the songs were sung for Baelor the Hammer. Maekar the Anvil, who was just as crucial to the victory, was stuck in his brother's shadow, his own service totally overshadowed by Baelor's glory. The real tragedy of Maekar's life didn't happen in a war, but came out of a tourney at Ashford Meadow. Things escalated when his cruel second son, Aerion, demanded a trial of 7 against a simple hedge knight, Sir Duncan the Tall. Maekar, who believed Duncan had kidnapped his youngest son, Aegon, sided with Aerion. But then, in a move that shocked everyone, his noble brother Baelor chose to champion Duncan, putting justice before family loyalty.
I will take Sir Duncan's side.
In the wild chaos of the 7 knights fighting 7 knights, brother was turned against brother. Maekar, swinging his favorite spiked mace, fought with absolute fury. In the heat of the fight, he landed a powerful blow that smashed into Baelor's helmet. Baelor managed to finish the trial, but the damage was done. When they took his helmet off, the awful truth was revealed. The blow had been fatal. The heir to the Iron Throne, the greatest prince of his generation, was dead, killed by his own brother's hand. Accidentally killing his brother made Maekar even harder and colder. He was haunted by what he'd done. Convinced that everyone would see him as a kinslayer. According to his son, Maester Aemon, Maekar never really found peace and believed becoming king was his punishment for the blow that killed Baelor. This grief and guilt totally shaped him as a father. He exiled his cruel son Aerion to the Free Cities. Then, in a decision that would change Westeros forever, he sent his youngest son Aegon, the boy everyone knew as Aeg, to travel the road as a squire for Sir Duncan the Tall, hoping the hard lessons would build a better man. Maekar never thought he would rule, but fate cleared his path to the throne in the most tragic ways possible. Not long after Baelor's death, the Great Spring Sickness swept through the land and claimed the lives of King Daeron II and Baelor's own sons. The crown then passed to Maekar's bookish brother Aerys I, who was more interested in reading old prophecies than ruling. Aerys I ruled for 12 years without having any kids, and when he passed away, Maekar was next in line. In 221 AC, he ascended the Iron Throne as the 14th Targaryen king. He had a new crown made, not like the fancy ones before it, but a warlike crown of sharp black iron points on a band of red gold. A grim crown for a warrior king who felt he was being punished for his past. Maekar's reign was actually pretty peaceful, a calm between the storms of more rebellions, but the king himself was never at peace. He ruled with the same harsh, no-nonsense attitude he'd always shown on the battlefield. His life of duty ended just as it had been lived, in battle. In 233 AC, Maekar was killed while personally leading an assault on the castle Starspike during the Peak Uprising. His head was crushed by a stone dropped from the battlements. The legacy of Maekar Targaryen is a messy one, full of tragedy and contradiction. He was the anvil that helped save the Targaryen dynasty, the kinslayer who mourned for decades, and the harsh father whose choices accidentally created one of Westeros' greatest kings in his son, Aegon V. He lived his life in a shadow and ruled under a cloud of guilt. A king who was forged by loss and defined by one single devastating mistake. So what do you think about Maekar Targaryen? Was he a tragic figure defined by one accident? Or was he a stern ruler whose harshness was exactly what his time needed? Let me know what you think in the comments, and if you dig exploring the forgotten corners of Westeros history, make sure you like this video and subscribe for more. Until next time, I'll catch you guys in the comments, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.